Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys had a great holiday. I had a really good one, and it was so good even. I took a couple weeks off taking care of this guy and just honestly having like an extra vacation. But we are back on the videos, and we are back on this pontoon boat. Last episode we left off having this upper deck built. It's all built. Had the flooring installed. It all looks absolutely awesome. Got all that done, and then I actually bought another pontoon boat, and I wanted to fix that up and get it all running and stuff before I started back on this. That one's all done now. All good to go. Today's episode, we're going to be focusing on the bar and the kitchen area that I was talking about. Now, originally, I was having a different layout. I was talking about making it out of aluminum and fiberglass and making it all look factory look. But to be honest, I'm just not excited about that at all. I kept putting it off because I didn't want to build it because I know, for one, it's going to be super hard. No one else is going to be able to build it because it's just so complicated of a design. It's going to be made out of aluminum, fiberglass. It's going to be expensive, and I just don't think it's worth that payoff. So I switched it up. I'm building something different. You may be wondering what this whiskey barrel is for. Well, I found a bunch of whiskey barrels on Facebook Marketplace. I bought 4 of them for less than $200, which if you know anything about this, that is a very cheap price. Usually they go for about $75 each. But that's besides the point. We're gonna be making a bar out of this. So we're gonna have seats all around it, have a bar tub on top, some LED lights, maybe even cut a cabinet or something in here with some shelving. That way we can have some dry storage underneath. And I love it back here because it matches the flooring a lot, and it kind of looks all rustic and it looks like a bar. Honestly, I think it's gonna look really cool. Hopefully I can fit like maybe 4 or 5 seats around the bar. It's gonna be moved over a little bit more. Build a bar top out of it, and then also over here where the kitchen is going to be, I'm going to add another barrel and just make a sink. I listened to you guys' comments about people climbing up the ladder and having a grill right there. It doesn't really seem super safe, so moving the grill somewhere else. I'm not really sure where yet, but we'll figure that out later on. Maybe move it back here or somewhere else. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out later. Having a barrel over here with a sink in it, and then storage underneath, maybe a water tank and something for fresh water. I just think that's another really cool idea, is just having a sink right here and enough walking room to get around to your seats, but enough room for people to sit around and have a few drinks and everything on it. I think it's gonna look really cool. Maybe even store like a keg underneath there. I think that would be kind of cool. And this whole idea actually gave me a name for this boat. I haven't named this boat yet, but now I have named it because it is a party in the back and all business in the front, so you can kind of guess what the name's gonna be. I'm having a logo for the boat made right now, and I'm gonna be wood burning that logo onto the bar top, just like how I did it on my last pontoon boat. I think it's gonna look really cool. Now, speaking of the bar top, let me talk about that real quick. Here's the rest of my whiskey barrels and also my tabletop. Now I'm gonna give you guys a little hack right now. You can go to Lowe's and you can buy a butcher block table or countertop for around $300. It's 39 inches wide by 79 inches long or something like that. Now, I don't need one that big, and I don't really want to spend $300 on that big of a butcher block that I'm gonna have to cut in half anyway. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace. I found a couple of these really thick old tables, and I bought one for $40, and perfect size I need. Actually, I'm going to cut this down to about 40 inches wide. This is about 5 feet in diameter. So 40-inch tables, I think that's going to be plenty of room for up there. Now, I obviously don't like this color, so I'm going to be sanding down this color and restaining it, maybe wood burning it, do something kind of cool, make it look a little bit more rustic to match the barrels. But I do like the little stripes in it. It matches the bracing on the barrels. I think that looks kind of cool. So that's the plan right now. I'm going to cut down this table to the right size, sand it down, stain it, and then we can start working on the stain and hopefully make a cabinet in the barrel. So like a door and then a cabinet inside maybe. We'll figure it out. We'll make the door first and then we'll move on from there. But I'm actually really excited about this idea. I think it's going to turn out really cool, and it's actually making me excited to work on this boat again. This whole overcomplicated design I was doing was just not something I'm having fun with, so this I'm actually going to have fun with, and I think it's going to look really cool by the end of the day. So let's see how it works out. Hopefully it does. If not, we're going to be back to square one and have to redo a bunch of stuff. But let's go ahead and start working on this thing. This bar top turned out fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. Let me talk about the other table I was going to use. I was trying to save some money. I bought this thinking it was a butcher block, but it turns out it wasn't. It was some kind of pressed wood. It's not solid wood, which it's what I thought it was. So it didn't end up working. No big deal. I mean, this wasn't super expensive. It really looks like wood from both sides, but in the inside it's like pressed wood. Just not something I was looking for. I just don't think it's going to look very good. So I went to Lowe's, picked up a couple boards of butcher block and glued them together. That way it was wide enough for what I wanted. Stained the bar top, added the logo, cut out the cup holders, everything like that, and made the logo. I named it The Mullet, and I think that's very appropriate. It's business in the front, party in the back. It's a perfect name for the boat, and I love this logo a lot. It looks pretty good. I distressed it a little bit too, make it look a little bit more rugged. Either way, I love how it turned out. I think it turned out awesome. Next up, we need to epoxy this. I bought some UV epoxy that I'm going to cover on both sides and the inside. That way no moisture gets into the wood. Keep it protected. Also, I want to start working on the base or the barrel. I want to get it stained the same color. Also coat it with some polyurethane and maybe coat the metal bands with something like clear coat or something. That way it doesn't rust anymore. Maybe even clean up the rust a little bit. I'm not sure what's going to look better or not. But we're going to do that and also try to make the cabinet for it, the cabinet door. Got to do that too. actually really like this look. I think it looks like a like a bar and a party back here. It looks pretty cool. Let me talk about what I did. First off, this barrel base, I made a door for it, added latches, hinges, and everything. Also this latch lock, so if I need to get off the boat for a little bit and need to store my stuff underneath here, I can lock it up and it should be fine. Also coated it with varnish. This varnish is made for marine stuff, so marine wood and everything. Hopefully it will last. I've never used it before on marine grade stuff, so hopefully it'll last. We'll be able to know here in the future a little bit. But for the most part, this thing is covered by the upper deck, so I don't see it ever falling apart anytime soon. I coated the bar top in some UV epoxy, and the bottom actually went well. The top, on the other hand, it had some flaws in it, as you can see. There's like some weird bubbles going on, and whatever this white stuff is, it looks like little bubbles in it. But I got all the bubbles out. I made sure to heat it up and get the bubbles out, so maybe I got it a little too hot right here in some spots. Not really sure what happens. Not really sure how I'm gonna fix it. Probably sand it back down and put another coat of epoxy on it. Clean it up a little bit. Hopefully that will fix it. But it does bother me a little bit. These bubbles are like huge. And I checked it multiple times, making sure it was staying okay, and it was staying okay, and then overnight it did this whole thing, so I don't really know exactly what happened. Other than that, it turns out really good. It's shiny. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about, maybe get your idea, is I'm not sure if I want to do a sink over here. If you're looking at it right now, it's not a whole lot of room for walking space, because imagine there being seating right here and everything. Door is going to get in the way. It just doesn't really seem like enough room for a sink. And you know, you know, honestly, I'm probably never going to use a sink. I think I like the idea of it more than actually using it. I don't see its usefulness that much on a pontoon boat. Maybe like a yacht, that would make a lot more sense, but I guess it doesn't really make sense to have a sink on the boat. I just think the idea was kind of cool. But I do love the idea of having a keg and a tap on the boat. I'm thinking putting a keg in here with a little tap coming out for some beer. I think that would be really awesome. I don't know how to work any of that. I'm not really a beer drinker, but I think it's a super cool feature to have on the boat for my friends and everything. Definitely a party back here. So what I'm thinking to save room is to cut this into like 2/3. So what I'm thinking is maybe cutting it right here, putting some more wood in the back to make it look normal again, and then lining it up right here. That'd be plenty of room, I think, for walking space, and then have the keg underneath, make a 5-gallon keg, and then a tap for the top. Another cool feature to have. I think that would be really cool. And plus we'd have more storage back here for like a cooler or something else to store. I think I'm just getting a little too carried away, thinking this boat's bigger than it is, with just putting a bunch of unnecessary things on it. So I think that's the best spot for it. And I think it's another cool feature to add, because I really want to do something else back here. So let me know what you guys think, if that's a cool idea. If you guys have another idea, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Please let me know. Also waiting for my seats to come in with the bases and everything like that. I don't know when they're gonna get in. Hopefully soon. I still gotta order a lot of that stuff. I was just gonna make sure this stuff worked before I ordered the rest of the bases and the seats and everything like that. But I should be able to have enough room for 5 seats around here. I think it should be working. And I also want to wait to mount this thing fully on the ground to make sure all the seats will fit. Just gotta wait for all that stuff to come in first before we start bolting everything down. But next episode, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to do anything too much on this. I might start digging into the wiring, because we have to wire up this whole boat. No more wiring is in it. I have to wire everything new. I have a wiring harness kit from pontoonstuff.com. I can work on the gauges, maybe install the lights in here. I need to install a bilge pump in the storage locker. There's a lot of other stuff I need to do to this. So I'll probably start working on that in the next episode. Also, I need a motor. I took the motor I bought for this and put it onto my other boat, so I need a new motor for this. Looking for a 4-stroke, 115 or above at least. I would like to get maybe around a 150. I don't want to go super fast with this thing, but enough power to move it pretty quick. If you guys know of one, you can email me or follow me on Instagram. Send me a message on there. Let me know if you find one in the Florida area. 4-stroke. Maybe a Yamaha, Suzuki, Mercury. I want some kind of 4-stroke. So if you guys find one of those, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let me know. Other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys like this idea? Do you hate that I'm not going with the aluminum bar anymore? I really like this idea. I think it's a lot more fun, a lot more DIY friendly. Everyone can do this. It's something fun. I like this, and I hope you guys like it too. All right, I will catch you guys in the next episode. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you next episode. Bye.